Hey, welcome back to Rust Order Garage. We're going to get back on the 56 Chevy pickup truck, but not before I show you what I got. So I just got back. I went to the Englishtown, New Jersey swap meet, which unfortunately is a shell of what it used to be. Mostly because they've leased out, probably at least half or more of the grounds, probably 2/3 of the grounds to Copart. So it's all just insurance wrecks now. So there's not a whole lot of grounds for the swap meet. Nothing like it used to be. I mean, this thing used to be probably secondary or second, say, only to Carlisle. I mean, it was great for a long time. But I'll still support it because it's the show I've been going to for decades, and I still come up with stuff out of there, even if it isn't a huge show. Is that because I'm a hoarder? Oh, you tell me. But let me show you what I just got home with, and then I got to get back on the truck. All right, first item. 2003, 2006 blue-green PCM, LS PCM. Not a big deal. The biggest thing I wanted was this van PCM mount, which is a nice piece. Comes in handy, and it's a nice little mount. I'm going to add this up as we go along because I don't know how much money I spent, but this was 20 bucks. I think that's fair for a PCM and the mount. All right, next item. What do we got here? A wheel that I may or may not be able to use. It's dual pattern drilled, which is nice to have a spare. If you're running a Ford 8.8 in the back and GM in the front, this will work on either axle. Only thing is, when I first picked it up, I thought it was a 15-inch rim. It's a 14. And after I got it back to the car, it was labeled. I'm just an idiot. But I bought it with some other stuff, so I really wasn't paying attention. My mistake. But it is an aftermarket wheel, and because of that, it may clear disc brakes, which is the only reason I normally stick with 15s. So I'm going to fit this on the front end, the Jag front end of the 56, and if it clears the disc brakes, I'm golden. And the wheel was, what? It was a combination of things. Call it 20 bucks. So I'm at 40. All right, next thing. What I think is a Trailblazer SS intake. I'm not sure. I don't care. I bought it mostly for the injectors and parts because it was $20. So it's a 4-bolt throttle, which looks bigger than the truck, so I don't know if it's a 90 or what it is. I'll have to measure it. But it's a cathedral port, later intake, which seems like it's a Trailblazer SS intake, but I couldn't find the number, that sticker with a number. I couldn't find that on Google. I'll have to dig in further, but either way, $20 gets me at 60. Hearst Promatic. If you remember these from the 80s. I had one of these in a Camaro, 69 Camaro many years ago. And you got to know how to use them. It's a ratchet shifter, but it seemed like B&M and Hearst, they all had their own ways of making them work, going through the gymnastics. But not terrible. But I need this for the 55 Turbo Buick because as much as I'd like to keep the column shift, I can't get it down into first with it, the way the linkage is, and I'm scared to death of putting it down in first anyway and trying to shift at our red line with a column shifter and going into neutral. So I think I'm going to put this in a Buick, and then we can actually start out in first gear and maybe get some burnouts. Oh, and this was $30. So what are we at? 20, 40, 60, 90 bucks. Next item. 1967 Camaro column shift steering column. Kind of weird because it's not often you find a Camaro that didn't have bucket seats and a console, but it's a column shift, and it's the same steering wheel as the 67 wheel that I have on the truck. The Impala wheel is the same, so maybe I would cake that center cap instead of the Impala center cap. We'll have to see if I keep it or not. either way, it's a column shift without an ignition switch, which is cool. I am going to have to tear it all down and go through it because I think it's seized. But $20. Can't beat it. Gotta have it. All right, so I'm at $110 spent so far. I bought 2 brand new 4-ways because I put one in every build with the jack. So that was $10. So that would give us 2, what, 120 bucks. All right, I've got 2 15x7 Krager SS's. Not in perfect shape, but I'm considering putting Kragers on the 55 Buick instead of the torque thrust Ds, just to get more of an old school. I don't know. You guys need to tell me. Leave the torque thrust Ds on, go Krager, or go black steel wheel and just make it look like a dead stock thing. Anyway, these were $70 for the pair. So I'll add it up and then we'll come back. All right, I'm at 190. Now, if you've watched my videos when I build these cars, I've talked about my $10 fans. And that one's got a broken connector. My $10 fans from the swap meet. Well, I don't lie, okay? But there's more. Here's one. Here's 2. A shroud. And that came for free with the fans. Here's another one. Has 3. And another one. It's 4. 4 fans. Paid $30 for all 4. All right, so up to $220. We're not done yet. So, the 39 Oldsmobile that I bought a couple weeks ago, I'm going back and forth in my head with that. I'm thinking, use that car to clean up. Like, you know, use what's laying around like I always do. What am I talking about? It's every car I freaking build. But what I have is, I've got a Nova subframe sitting around that I've had for years. I don't use subframes much anymore. I usually put Jaguars or other things and stuff. But hey, I got the Nova front end, right? Well, I bought a full set of control arms with brand new ball joints and polyurethane bushings already installed, uppers and lowers, from a 68 Camaro, which is the same as a Nova. And 100 bucks for everything. So, well worth it. Can't buy the parts for that, let alone the pain in the ass time swapping those control arm bushings. So, yeah, another 100 bucks to the list. Probably have to get new boots because somebody used a pickle fork instead of the right tool to get them apart, but that's fine. Nice pieces too, not even rusty. So, add 100 bucks to the bill. All right, so all in all, I think it was a good show. I think with some more little small miscellaneous things I picked up, I don't know, maybe I spent $375 in parts. But I mean, if that's a Trailblazer SS intake, those are usually selling for $150 to $200 on their own. So I think it was worth it. And $30 for a ratchet shifter, I think that's a pretty good deal too. Swap meet is definitely the way to go. But that said, now I have some parts for future builds. So let's get back to the 56 pickup. Well, the next thing I have to do that I forgot about is the floor. I forgot because it was covered up when I was spraying the dash. So yeah, I want to put bed liner on this. And this is inside the truck, so I don't need any 2-part stuff or anything. And of course, this is a swap meet item. It's funny because the sticker on it says $87. I bought 2 of these for 50 bucks. So it's a $25 can. And I already used probably half of it. I can't remember. Was it on the Hudson? Yeah, I think I used it on the Hudson floor. So I've got some chip brushes, and I'm going to start working that and see how far it goes. And the day is going fast. I said I've been up since 5 in the morning to go to that swap meet. Now, time for more work. Let's see. I would not use something like this on an actual truck bed. Only on, oh wow, I hardly used any of it. Only on the inside of a car or a truck would I use this non-catalyzed stuff. For actually under a car, this works too, but for a bed where you want it to really be durable, stuff like Raptor liner, that's a 2-part, you mix it and spray it, that stuff's tough. This stuff here though, whew, it stinks, that's for sure. I really should probably have a respirator on and put this stuff down. Ow. She's a smelly. Looks like we'll be brushing tar. So I already blew this place out. I'm going to try to do half and work my way this way. And then the same thing on the other side. Let's just see what this looks like. Well, it's black. Flows out good. So maybe it won't be too terrible. This car I could probably, or this truck, oh, thank you. This truck I could probably use a roller. I don't know. Let's see how this stuff flows out with the brush. If you use this stuff, get a respirator. It's nasty. If you can hear me, works good. All right, that is it. Whew. So that will have to dry overnight. Hardly used anything out of that gallon, but if you use that Duplicolor stuff, be prepared to use a respirator. I wore a respirator throughout the whole thing because, man, that stuff stinks. And now I remember I put this stuff in the Hudson, and it took days for the stuff to gas out and get the stink out of the car. So if you're using this inside a car, don't think you're going to be driving it in a day. It's not happening. This stuff's got to dry and outgas, get the stink out of it. So it looks good. So that should be it as far as weather, let's say, weather limited items. Whew. All right, I think that is enough for today. Up at 5, driving for hours, half a day to swap meet, come home, do that. The day's not done yet. But I'm done with this for today, that's for sure. So that'll be all. Maybe we'll start working on some more stuff with getting the engine running sooner than later. Yeah, I'll have to think about that. All right, anyway, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for following along. I hope you are, if not entertained, maybe learn something or maybe see something you like. I don't know. We'll see. So we'll see you on the next one. Later.